Hey guys, I'm Rick.
And I'm Shane.
And boy, we just saw a really awesome movie.
Yeah, we went to go see Avengers Infinity War.
In 40X!
Wow.
Yeah. I was really impressed. That was a...
It was a full-on experience.
This is a no spoiler review, by the way, just in case you're wondering, like, oh my god, no, we're not going to spoil anything for you. Trust us, because we don't want to, because we're fans of the universe and fans of what Marvel is doing,
and you know, quite frankly, so much goes on in this film anyways that, like, you know, we would have to make a really long video in order to really spoil anything.
That's true. The trailers, the good news is the trailers give nothing away.
Yeah, very pleasantly surprised by that. A lot of times when I go to see a movie, it'll reach a certain point in the story and my mind just puts all the pieces together, and so usually watching the last half of a film, I kind of know everything that's coming. You know, I just kind of expect it. And I mean, there was so much happening, and the pacing.
Yeah, the pacing was good. Even when you think, okay, I guess this qualifies as a slow part. There's like breathtaking vistas and you know, stuff with characters going on. There's never really a slow moment. You have the huge action-packed scenes and then stuff where it's like, we're telling you the story, but they do it in such a way it's just beautiful.
Yeah, you know, there's no like no real big scenes of like exposition or, you know, dialogue to fill in the moments. I think just about everything that happens in this film and every character that appears in this film is somehow a device in order to further advance the plot.
True.
You know.
Oh, and before, you're right. And before we go too far, I just want to say, if you know you're just joining in, you want to get some quick info and then get out, kind of thing. There's a clip right at the end of the movie, so stay till the very end. All right, you'll like it, and you should probably watch the Thor Ragnarok before this.
I would actually say that, you know, if there's in any of the movies that you kind of missed along the way, that it would be really good to sort of fill yourself in on that anyways. Yeah.
But Thor Ragnarok, you know, the movie points definitely play some big part, you know, because it's a continuation from that movie. So yeah, it's I would definitely say, like, we watched Ragnarok a little while ago and that was awesome, and then we walked into this movie, it's like, yeah, that was good. Yeah. Is 40X worth it?
In this particular instance, I would definitely say yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about the chair motion. It was decent. I felt that it added to the experience.
It was not too much, which is always kind of one of the threats that you face when you're dealing with, like, you know, 40X, is sometimes they throw the motions in there, you know, just to kind of not have any quiet points.
Yeah, so it'll be like a dead scene in the chair, so moving around. It's like, well, why? Yeah. You know, but like, this movie,
yeah, someone turned their head too quickly, and all of a sudden the chair just like jerks, and you're like,
right. But this movie was like, it blended in so well, I almost didn't notice it. And the chairs were moving around, but it was like, it was so well added to this movie. I did like the fact that sometimes the chairs tilted back a few times to reveal the big characters.
Yeah, just so you could get like the full enormity of the effect, and it's like you're looking up now. Suddenly.
Yeah, like a mountain or something. You tilt back like, whoa, I guess, or a big character, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, so you know, the other, like, you know, the air jets were pretty good. I noticed the fog machine was used in such a way that it didn't really distort the picture any. It was mostly just kind of along the sides of the theater, just so that the 3D effect further filled up.
Yeah, it was very, you know, with other movies, if they have a big smoke explosion, then the smoke will come out and there's smoke everywhere and stuff. But I mean, it was atmospheric. It was just added a bit to the...
Yeah, like I said, like, it was on your periphery.
Yeah.
So it just further enhanced the 3D effect because you could see actual smoke sort of beside you, but it didn't actually get in the way of the screen at all. So
it was good. There's water effects, of course, in this movie. There's a couple of, like, you know, flying over the water scenes or whatever. I think about five, maybe six of those. But definitely like added to the experience. Like, wow, you know, kind of thing. That was good. There were bubbles in the movie because bubbles is part of 40X. Okay, and there were. It's not a big thing, but our bubble machine may have been broken, or they decided not to add that effect. I don't know, but it was fine.
I think probably due to the subtlety is the way that it appeared.
Yeah, they didn't want like bubbles in the film.
They didn't want like bubbles all over the place because it wasn't really appropriate. So
yeah, not like Guardians 2 where they're they reach the planet, the God planet or whatever, and the bubbles are floating across. And that was cool. I like that.
Yeah,
but it would have been. I think it would have been out of place here, and it's good that they didn't. Have it or the machine was broken. Either one. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but either way, it was good.
Those fans are on a bit, which is nice. I kind of prefer that. You get sometimes the movie theaters can get a little stuffy in Asia, so you have a little bit of air, just to mix around the theater air and get a little bit fresher air. Yeah. So that was pretty good. Just one smell, as far as I could tell, is like
you know what? I didn't even notice.
I noticed one, and I think that was just it. So it was just a tiny bit like that. So maybe the machines are getting old.
Yeah, well, the person who was kind of sitting 2 seats down from me, I don't know if they had like nachos or whatever, but for the most part, that's all I could smell.
The nachos took over the
smell.
Okay.
Unless somehow I missed completely and that actually tied into the film. I didn't notice any nachos on the screen, so
it could have been shawarma. So the Russo brothers have done it. Definitely put together a masterpiece. Wow. I mean, I'm a huge movie fan. Like I go to movies to have that experience, right? And you see like I was like, after watching Joss Whedon's, Avengers 1 and 2, I'm like, how's the third one gonna go? Kind of, and the third one was
especially when it was announced that he was stepping down after the second Avengers, and you're just kind of like, because the one thing that Joss Whedon is really good for is doing ensemble cast pieces.
Yeah,
he somehow can take 5 to 10 main characters and make them all relevant and give them all an appropriate amount of screen time, and work them nicely into the storyline so that they're actually important even if they're not the star. And so Well,
his second was Age of Ultron, right? Was it second or third?
Yeah, that was the second.
Second, okay.
Yeah.
So third is Infinity War.
Yes.
Right. I'm a movie fan, but not 100%. Know everything. That's why I got this guy here.
Thanks for the backhanded compliment. That's awesome.
No, come on.
No, I'm teasing you.
All right. So let's see. The script was done by the screenplay was done by Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely. And what an amazing screenplay. Like they took the comic book story, I did my research first, done by Jim Starlin, George Perez, and Ron Lim. That was the original Infinity Wars comic. And I definitely want to check out the comic after this. I want to see how they did that. Did you ever read the comics?
I briefly did. That was still at a point where, the Infinity Gauntlet was what came out when I was still avidly collecting comic books.
I went through a couple phases.
But they've done a few more lines.
Oh wow!
Involving the Infinity Stones.
Since
then. And as far as I can tell, pieces were taken from different story arcs and just kind of blended together. So if you're looking for one of those storylines to be represented in this film, some of it will be, but it won't stick completely to canon. The MCU is actually amazing like that because somehow they managed to stay mostly true to the characters in the universe, but don't follow the storylines that you've read down to.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that too. If you've read the books, that's great. Then maybe you have some ideas about what the characters can do, but for fans going to see this for the first time or something, or people who've already read the book and want like a similar experience but want to be pleasantly surprised, then That's a good experience. I want to talk about the Infinity Stones. Because
Yes.
you had to explain to me a few times. This is not the first time we had to, I had to actually write down like what these stones do, because there's 6?
Yes.
6 stones, okay.
Yes, 6 stones.
All right, so we got the purple stone.
Yeah, in the MCU, they have changed the colors of the stones to what they were in the comic books. And if you ask me what they were in the comic books, I don't remember. So,
Oh, wow, okay.
you know, if anybody wants to, update us in the comments about that, please do.
I'd like to know, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Purple's the power stone.
Purple is the Power Stone.
All right, and we saw that in Guardians.
Guardians, yeah.
Right.
So that was the one that
in the...
Ronan put in his hammer and
Yeah.
tried to use to
And Star-Lord.
destroy Xandar.
We're the Guardians of the Galaxy. Beep. And so, at the end, when we're picking up this story, that stone is currently where?
Xandar.
It's on Xandar. Oh,
Yeah.
it's being entrusted
Yeah.
to the Glenn Close or whatever.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And the blue was obviously the
Tesseract.
Yeah, right? Okay.
So, yeah, quick brief history on the Tesseract was taken from a Nordic village during World War II by the Red Skull.
Oh, right, yeah, that was in Captain America, the first movie.
yeah.
Right, yeah.
And then was lost at the end of that movie when Steve Rogers took a nosedive into the Atlantic.
And wait, Tony Stark's father was looking for it with the sub, and that's how they found Captain America. Or something.
The other way around, actually.
Oh.
They were looking for Captain America, and while they were looking for where the plane went down,
Right.
They came across the Tesseract, because the Tesseract had actually fallen out of the plane before the plane went down.
Before they found the capsicle.
Yeah, like it burned a hole through it.
Capsicle. Nice.
So they didn't find Cap until like 80 years later.
They took their time. I mean,
Yeah.
Geez, James Cameron can find the Titanic, but... Okay, so that stone, as we know from the previous movie, Ultron? No, what was the one where Loki was... No, that's the end of the first movie.
That was, yeah. So,
Assemble, right?
Avengers Assemble.
Yeah. Because Thor takes Loki and they have that thing, right? And they go back to Asgard with the stone, with the Tesseract.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, that brings us to the Mind Stone.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Okay. So the Mind Stone was part of Loki's scepter in Avengers Assemble.
But the scepter was blue. That's what confused me.
Yeah.
Huh. All right.
Okay. But what happened was...
I think they just didn't make it look cool, you know.
The one thing that was mentioned was that the scepter had a similar effect and somehow seemed to almost be communicating with the Tesseract.
Right. And that's why they couldn't remain together?
Sort of. The scepter kind of got lost after, the Battle of New York. So by the time you get to the Age of Ultron, the very beginning, the big fights was them trying to locate and get back the scepter.
Oh, right. Okay. Got it.
So that's sort of skips a bit, but yeah. Okay.
And
so
spoiler alert for Age of Ultron. Go see that movie. But yeah, so that gem ended up in creating and bringing Jarvis. Was put into a body and bringing Vision to life.
Yeah. So that would be again the Mind Stone,
which is yellow.
Which is yellow.
Okay, got it. All right. That's why Vision's got the yellow thing in his head.
Right.
That's not just because he wants to look cool. Right, okay.
Now, there was, in Thor Dark World, was the Ether, which is the Reality Stone. That's the red one.
I was wondering about that because when Jane Foster's character, when she gets teleported through the thing and then she touches the ether and she kind of comes possessed by that. That's actually the Infinity Stone.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And the thing is the Dark Elves wanted to use it to unmake reality so that they could go back to what the universe was like before everything got made.
Huh. All right.
Now, at the end of Thor: Dark World, they realized because they have the Tesseract on Asgard, they couldn't keep the ether on Asgard too, because having two very, very powerful objects that close together is incredibly dangerous.
Right.
So they sent an envoy over to the Collector, who's trying to get his hands on the Infinity Stones anyways, and they handed it to him for safekeeping.
Yeah, he's like, oh, thank you.
So yeah, that's where the Reality Stone ended up, was in the hands of the Collector in nowhere.
You had a theory beforehand that they the fire. I mean, online there was theories too, but that was a really solid theory that the eternal flame.
Yeah, yeah. I had a theory because I'd seen a lot of people and they were trying to speculate, like, where's the Soul Stone? You know, like, so by the time Ragnarok rolled around, the Soul Stone was the only stone that hadn't appeared.
Right. Yeah.
And so when we were watching it, I thought the eternal flame because number one, Asgardians are really long-lived. Number two, Hela is the goddess of death, and before Odin had imprisoned her, she was actually that was her weapon. She was in control of it.
Oh wow!
So you think death, you know,
she was already superpowered during that movie, and you know,
and that's what she was going for. So she was going for the eternal flame. Which first thing she did when she got her hands on it was she resurrected, you know, her army and Fenris.
Right. That big dog.
Yeah.
He was toying with Hulk on the bridge, right?
And you know, with all of those things, you know, I think it's a very reasonable assumption, especially since like the ether was like a mist.
Yeah.
But could be turned into an Infinity Stone. That the eternal flame.
Other objects could be turned into that too. Yeah.
You know, so that the eternal flame that has all of these abilities that you would connect with the soul, you know, power over life and death, and you know, reanimation of the body.
Right.
I think, you know, it was a pretty solid theory.
That's true. We got the last.
Yeah, the Time Stone.
Time Stone.
Yeah.
That's green, and that's Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So the Eye of Agamotto.
Right.
Which is currently with Doctor Strange. His order has been protecting it for a really, really long time, and you know, it's had other masters and other people who've, like, you know, studied it. It's not like it's carried around or used a lot because it's really, really dangerous to play with time.
Yeah.
And if you have the power to do so, it's probably wiser to, you know, use other Infinity Stones to kind of complement the one you're using.
Right. You were saying before the Mind Stone would be a good choice.
Yeah. Like if you're gonna mess with time or reality, then you know the Mind Stone would help you have the mental capacity to not make a huge mistake.
Sound design.
The
music was done by Alan Silvestri.
Yes.
Yeah. What did you think about that?
Amazing work. You know, the guy knows his business. He gets a lot of work, and for very good reason.
Not a lot of songs. This Avengers movie would
definitely a lot of good, like, you know, underscoring and
you know, dramatic and feel, and the atmosphere was so immersive, and just really, I felt like it was really, really amazing sound design.
Well, yeah, and I mean, like with the surround, you know, you had mentioned no specific effects stood out. Yeah,
because usually you hear in movies that you hear a gunshot that kind of whizzes by your head or something like that, and I do appreciate those effects too, but at the same time, it was just blended together so well that you just felt part of this movie.
Yeah, especially in combination with, like, you know, the 3D on the screen and the 4DX effects.
Yeah.
You know, going on around you, and then just with the sound, it's just the engineers who put that together did a fantastic job.
They really did.
Probably one of the best 4DX experiences I've had yet.
That's good, man. The film was really well edited too. Jeffrey Ford and Matthew Schmidt worked on the film, doing all the cuts, and it was like just, you have your action sequences like bam, 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 and then you have, you know, your wide angle shots, and you have your characters, and that's happening. But it was just so well done. There was no like dead spots.
Yeah, they're like not a moment of this film was wasted.
I thought Robert Downey Jr. did a great job.
Yes.
Really good job. This, like, his performances as Iron Man have just gotten better and better throughout the movies.
Well,
when it came together in Avengers, I thought he was really amazing too. Yeah, but we got a Hulk, you know.
Yeah. Well, what I really like is that in all of his films, something happens that just kind of, you know, tweaks his character a little bit. And that always carries over into the next film. And he always pulls some of that along with him so that you can see parts of his character all the way from the first Iron Man and everything that's happened to him along the way. Like, you can see how it evolved.
Feels like the journey of one man.
Yeah,
right?
you know,
Yeah.
and so it's really, really incredible like that. And he, you know, he's just done such a good job
Yeah.
in bringing that to the screen. And actually, same credit, I think, should also be given to Scarlett Johansson for, you know, the evolution of Black Widow, and, you know, how she's, again, you know, she's evolved as a character, and she's brought with her all the things that she's sort of learned along the way, the interactions that she had, her relationships with different people, and it's just...
Yeah, I liked her in this movie too. She was good. She was good. Tom Holland did a great job as Spider-Man. Very, very awesome job. I was surprised because if you saw the last Spider-Man movie that just came out, he did a great performance in that too, and always bugging Happy. that was funny.
Yeah.
But very, very different kind of feel.
Yeah.
For this movie, he put on his acting chops for this movie. That was really well done. And Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As, there's another...
As Cap. Yeah.
Good evolution to the character.
Yeah, wow, I tell you, after Civil War, it just changed. You know, he was the guy who was fighting for his country, and now he's like, you know, I'm
a man without a country.
A man without a country, but, you know, he looks a bit, you know, rough. You know, if you've seen the trailers,
well, you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Hey, it's Cap right here. Right on.
All right.
And you were mentioning something before about this one right here.
Oh, Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
Wow. Absolutely amazing performance. The fact that, like, you know, he's acting behind a CGI character, you know, makes it just that much more impressive. You know, the combination of, like, the animation team that, you know, did the CG on his character.
Yeah.
And the fact that they've so well tracked his movements, his expressions, his posture. Like,
all the emotion, all that feeling, the depth comes through, and it, you know, there's sometimes in the past you watch a CG movie, it's like, yeah, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Or it looks a little, no, this movie is like, wow, I believed that 100%. Yeah. That was incredible.
Yeah,
was
like
really good.
you know, they could have just as easily sat him in a makeup chair for, you know, 10 hours a day, and, you know, like that's how well that you know,
it came through.
The expressions just track on his face is just absolutely amazing.
Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, of course.
In all honesty, I have not seen anything with Benedict Cumberbatch that I have not totally enjoyed. You know, I've never seen him give like a weak performance.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, there's a few people that I say that about, but it's a very small list.
Yeah. Yeah, really, really strong performance by him here.
Yeah.
And Wong's in the movie.
Yes.
We can say that.
Yeah.
You know, he was in the trailer too, so that's fine. Yeah. Well,
but
that was the point that you brought up before too, is that every character that's in this movie has a part.
Yeah, like there's not a single needless cameo.
Yeah.
You know, everybody who's in this movie it either advances the story or, you know, or they develop as a character. Like there's no frivolous cameos at all.
Yeah. Star-Lord. Star-Lord. Chris Pratt did a really good job in this movie. Yeah. Elizabeth Olsen as a Scarlet Witch. Wow, what a strong performance by her too.
Yeah,
she was really good.
Yeah, that was a lot of character development.
Yeah, because you saw her in Age of Ultron, and you know, she obviously, you know.
Well, I mean, Age of Ultron, she went back and forth from being like, you know, an angry adolescent to the scared little girl. everything in that film, and I mean, it was appropriate to the story and, you know, to her introduction. So, you know, that in no way is out of criticism, but, you know, that's where she was as a character. And then, you know, from there, she was starting to get more confidence in Civil War until she made a mistake, and that confidence
was gone. Yeah.
And then
that leads into this movie, and that's all we can say.
Yeah. Anything more we say about that character is a spoiler, so that's where it stops.
Bucky.
Sebastian
Stan does a great job. Some of a couple of really good moments with him in this movie. Yeah, you can already infer, and you should infer, and you've already seen in the trailer that because of we're talking about White Wolf, Sebastian Stan, Bucky Barnes, you know that he's involved. He went to Wakanda.
At the end of Civil War.
Yeah, and you've already seen a shot or two of Black Panther in the trailer, so there's no spoilers there. And Chadwick Boseman obviously is doing Black Panther again, and great in this movie. Yeah. We have not seen Black Panther. We missed it in theaters, and I was actually trying to get a second run version of this because I wanted to catch up before we see this movie. But luckily, you know, picks up where Black Panther is. We haven't been introduced to any other Black Panther characters, but Okoye and M'Baku are in this as well because they are on IMDb, so we can say it. And they do a great job. Very, very nice performances by the cast there. So that was good. Who else makes an appearance? Drax. The Collector makes an appearance. Obviously, Paul Bettany's Vision. Rocket's great.
Yep.
Rocket's very good. He's you really see a bit more Rocket's side.
Yeah, like I think, you know, part of what came out with in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, where they had sort of started to develop Rocket a little bit more in the scenes between him and Yondu, and you know, you get to see a little bit more of that side of Rocket.
Groot's brooding teenager. Groot.
Definitely, you know, like a lot of funny parts. Very, very unexpected character development.
Yeah, because I watched him. You know, you see him in Guardians 1. You have a feeling for this, you know, a grandiose, very, you know, caring, nurturing character, and then he changes at the end of 2, where, you know, he's kind of like this little baby, and then he grows into this teen, and I was like, all right, so where is he gonna go from now? Right. I was hoping he was, you know, gonna maybe resume his previous persona, but they just basically said he carried on from that. So
well, that is because James Gunn has revealed, in case it was not clear to anyone, that, you know, Baby Groot and the previous Groot that we, you know, met in the first film are not actually the same character.
Oh, it's like the character grew out of the old character kind of thing, but it's not this.
Basically, as you know, plants bud.
Right. You get an offshoot, which is
get an offshoot, which is, you know, mostly the same. Maybe even genetically the same, but becomes a completely different entity.
Kind of like, you know, twins, and they have different personalities, kind of thing. Or, you know.
Yeah, so basically Baby Groot has none of Groot's memories or necessarily even previous personality. Wow. And so basically that Groot is, you know, the product of being an offshoot from, you know, the original Groot, plus the fact that he's been raised by the Guardians, as opposed to Groot, who was raised, met Rocket, then met the Guardians.
Yeah. Mark Ruffalo, great job.
Yes.
Great job.
Yeah.
Very nice job. Some of the funniest parts, and also some of the darkest parts, too.
Yeah, a little bit,
Yeah. Can we talk about a certain Game of Thrones character? That's kind of dangerous. There's a certain Game of Thrones character who's been on Saturday Night Live.
You know what?
I probably should.
No, that's a spoiler.
Okay.
We are going.
Well, that's all we're gonna say.
Yeah.
That's all we're gonna say. Well, but what a great performance.
Yes.
And if you've seen the movie, you know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
40X was great, man. I really, really enjoyed that. That was a great Great movie. A lot of great moments in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so that about wraps up our no spoiler review. So, what's your rating for the movie out of 10? 10 being the highest.
I would probably say it would be about 9.5.
For me, it was an amazing movie. I'd probably have to give it a 10. It's so well done. I definitely recommend this movie. Go see it. You won't regret it. It's really good.
Actually, director recommendation, if you have the opportunity, and especially if 4DX is not available, is that they say it was filmed in IMAX. See it in IMAX for the best.
Ooh, yeah, that would be nice. We went. Me and Irene went and checked out. Ready Player One in IMAX? It's incredible. IMAX 3D is just beautiful. That's a nice screen.
Yeah, and so like I said, that is how they filmed it. That is the optimal screen to see it on.
Yeah, if you don't have 4, I know not everywhere has 4DX.
That's coming straight from the Russos. So.
Cool. Yeah, I know not everywhere has 4DX, so definitely, if you don't have that option, go see it in IMAX 3D. But definitely, 4DX worth it. Yes, it is. Don't forget, wait until the very, very end. There's a scene. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the movie.
If you noticed anything that we may have gotten wrong, or, if there's anything you'd like to add, again, please, no spoilers. This is a non-spoiler review, but leave a comment down below.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, or you can, send us a message on Techspin. You just, type a thing in there.
Yeah, or send us a message on Twitter.
How about some other movies we need to check out? Go leave us a comment and say, hey, please check out this movie. The 4DX is only available, just to let you guys know, 4DX is only available for like the first week or up to 2 weeks, because they cycle. It's only one theater in all of northern Taiwan. I think Taiwan has 2. And so they cycle those movies through there really fast.
Yeah, the other one's down in like Kaohsiung or...
Yeah, Kaohsiung, I think so, yeah. So they cycle the movies through quick, so yeah, we gotta see it like pretty much opening week or we miss it.
Okay,
so.
Deadpool 2 is coming up.
Yeah. We're definitely gonna go check that one out. That sounds good. Yeah. However, the first Deadpool, we saw it in 4DX, but technically it wasn't really 4DX because they didn't film Deadpool in 3D.
Yeah.
So it was a 2D screen with extra motion, and so it's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah,
that's good. But that's coming up real soon.
Yeah, 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Like, May 18th, I believe.
That's gonna be awesome.
Or 15th here. I think we got it a couple of days early.
Cool. Thanks for joining us. If you have any comments, please leave them down below. No spoilers, please, for everyone else. And I'd love to hear what you guys think about this movie. Please give us a like. Subscribe if you like this kind of content.
Thank you.
I know what you want to say. Thanks again.
Yeah.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.